Welcome to a slightly different episode of Jim's Magnificent Miniature Motor Cars. Uh, Tonight, or in this episode, instead of the usual unboxing, I'll be reviewing cars that I've already unboxed. Well, one of which I unboxed, the other of which I opened way before I started filming these videos. I decided to make this video because, as it turns out, one of the cars I unboxed received a somewhat unduly generous score. At least I feel it did. And I feel that the only way to kind of justify my revisiting that score is to compare the car in question to a similar model, albeit from a different manufacturer. So to get straight into it, I'm going to switch the POV so you all can see both. Okay, this is an Audi R8 LMS 2019 model by Para64. I unboxed this, well, I don't know how many videos ago, but fairly recently, at least in terms of filming. Okay, and on the right side is a much older, maybe 3 years at least, 3 or 4 year older model by Tarmac Works. Okay, it's of a 2015 Audi R8 LMS. Both models, incidentally, are replicas, or 1/64th scale replicas of cars that won the 24 Hours of the Nürburgring. Of course, one being the 2015 edition and the other being the 2019 edition. Okay, and having had the chance to compare them side by side, well, let's just say I found myself questioning why I gave the model here on the left a score of 8. Okay, now let's be fair. These two cars, even though they both have acrylic cases, fancy paint jobs, they are separated by a crucial thing. They are of different price points. Okay, this is a car that set me back about roughly the equivalent of $20, and this one is just over a $10 car. So there is a fairly substantial price differential. Okay, that said, in terms of fit and finish, the model on the left leaves quite a bit to be desired. Okay, so let's compare a little bit, shall we? So the model on the right, the older model, has, well, some really astonishing detail here. Okay, you have fantastic engine detailing here for a 1/64th scale car. This is really impressive stuff. It has a small antenna here. The tires have full branding, and inside the wheels you have what do you call this? You have brake assembly replication. Okay, so you got brakes, you got tire brands, you got great engine detailing, and of course all the bells, and you got an antenna and all the bells and whistles of the stickers. Okay, the sponsor stickers or decals, I'm not sure. Okay, now I don't expect this car to be this. Okay, here now we move on to the newer car, which I rated an 8 in the video in which I unboxed it. I don't expect it to be quite nearly as detailed as the car that cost twice as much. Okay, to be fair. And to be fair also to this car, it's got quite a bit going for it in terms of finer detail. Like, look at these dive planes here at the front. Okay, they are just as detailed as the assemblies on the older model, maybe even more so, although it's hard to say because the real life car obviously had some aerodynamic differences from the 2019 car was a slightly different car from the 2015 car. Okay, and these differences reflect that as well. But even taking the little advantages into account, there's quite a few balls dropped here. This engine replication, for example, is kind of embarrassing. Okay, and okay, the fact that the tires were not branded is something that I suppose I can live with. But these things here on this car, okay, I confess I don't know if they're entirely up to scale or not, but they just look kind of sad. In fact, these wheels, these wheels almost kind of broke the deal for me when I was thinking about buying this. In hindsight, I'm really not sure why I gave this model an 8. Okay, this is more like a 6, even though it's a $10 car. I mean, geez, that's still $10. And Para64 are capable of producing really quality stuff. Okay, I believe I unboxed a pair of rough CTR, that's modified Porsche 911s for the uninitiated. I unboxed a pair of roof CTR models by these guys not too long ago, and they stacked up well against the likes of Mini GT and Tarmac Works. But this thing, wow, you one doesn't really get a sense. I didn't get a sense of how shoddy this workmanship was until I actually compared it to this older model. Sure, the older model is more expensive, but you know what? It's more than twice the car. You can see it. You can see the attention to detail here. The attention to fine detail is all there. In contrast to this thing that I don't know, that just feels like it was crapped out by a factory. I'm sorry. No. Six is even a little too is a little too generous. But the price point saves it from going any lower. Okay, this is a 6. No more than that. Okay. And yeah, this is gonna be the first time, hopefully the last, that I'll be basically revising my score. Okay. Because it's nice to unboxing. It's always a nice to unbox something new. It's always nice to enjoy it and live on the high of it. But yeah, now that I see this model stacked up to a comparable model, I know that I can't just rate stuff on the fly like that. I have to really, I really have to do my homework, as it were, and compare it to what came before. Okay, so sorry, folks at Para64. If you ever come up with more of these racing models, please do better next time. Okay. So that's it for this somewhat unique episode of Jim's Magnificent Miniature Motor Cars. I hope you enjoyed this detour from our usual unboxings. And remember, as always, if you like what you see, give us a like and a subscribe.